Welcome to the At Mac Theater podcast. You say Brahma, we say Brahma. Brahma Drama. Thanks for tuning in to Mac Theater's podcast, Brahma Drama. For this episode, we're launching our scary, strange, and unusual story series called Who's There? Actors from the Junior Varsity and Varsity Theater classes worked hard to perform a few tales that are sure to keep you on the edge of your seat. After these, I assure you that you might never look at a snowman or a lonely auditorium the same again.
Christmas. Some say it's the most wonderful time of the year. Most children wake up at 6 a.m. to see what Santa Claus left them underneath the tree. We are bombarded by movies about snowmen and reindeer. Ah yes, Christmas time, the time of mistletoe, merriness, and murder.
As a boy, all the mothers in my town would tell a story, a legend, a wives' tale, right? It was about the snowman killer, they called it. About a while ago, before our parents were born, there was a man with a top hat, right? Dressed in all white, so they called him a snowman. And this snowman killer had apparently killed an entire class of children, right? About 20, 25 children. And they found the bodies later missing their heads, right? Weird story. I'm not even sure if it was very real, right? Mostly meant to scare us, at least that's what we thought, right? Well, I was about 9 years old, and it was Christmas Eve. You know, Christmas Eve didn't mean much to my family, didn't have too much money, wasn't a lot of presents. Family never came. So for me, it was mostly about seeing friends, playing in the woods, right? So there we were, you know, my friends, we left Christmas Eve, playing in the woods, you know, the great big trees, the cold wind, you know, you never forget the feel of Christmas Eve wind on your face, right? And we played hide and seek, we played tag, we played all the games that kids would play, right? You know, out in the woods, in the opening. And it was maybe noon, a little afternoon. We hadn't gone to home for supper yet, and so we decided we were all gonna build some snowmen, right? One for each of us. Tom, John, William, or we called him Bill, and we clumped up the snow into snowballs and all started packing it, and we rolled them, and we made a little snowman for each of us. We put a glove from each of us onto the snowman with a little stick, right? So we knew, you know, that snowman's John, that snowman's William, Bill. And anyway, you know, it was all fun and games, and Bill said he had to go home for supper, right? So we decided we'll have a little bit more fun before we leave, and so we grabbed the heads of the snowman and we threw them at the trees and just saw them we saw them dissipate, right? Disappear. And so I went home and I ate supper and woke up next morning, Christmas Day, right? Christmas Day, I went outside. Parents told me to go shovel the snow before, you know, we have our little Christmas breakfast. And that's when I saw the giant pile of snow in the front. Thought, man, this is gonna take a while. And so I start shoveling, right? Maybe I was shoveling for 2 minutes until I hit something, right? I don't realize it at first. I think maybe it's a rock or something in the snow. And so I keep going, and I see some red snow. I think maybe something died in here. You know, it's starting to stink. And so, you know, as I'm digging, I realize that these are clothes. These are clothes. Ugh, they're clothes in the snow, right? Creepy. And I realized that this isn't just clothes, this is a body. And that's when I started to really freak out. I dig up the body, right? And I found Bill, I found Bill without his glove, just like he was yesterday when he went home. And so, another big thing about Bill is after I dug up the bottom of his body and his hand, I realized he did not have a head. And this is the point where I'm only about 9 or 10, and I am freaking out, right? This is traumatic. I don't know what to do. I'm in shock. I'm a deer in headlights. I'm frozen. It's basically a blizzard out, right? And I'm just shoveling this snow so that, we can go eat breakfast and then take the car out. And these are my friends. And they're gone. And this isn't the creepiest part. I turn to the snowfield, right? And I see the snowmen that we all made, almost identical, right? Each one had one of our gloves, except the heads that we had thrown at the trees yesterday were the heads of all of my friends.
Thank you for tuning in, and always remember, you don't want to be a snowman.
Chilling, truly. I cannot even begin to comprehend how traumatizing that must have been for a young boy. It really makes you think about how you could just lose everything at the drop of a hat. Or a snowman's head. Up next, we have Kate Crowley interviewed by terrifying Teagan as she talks about her experience with the spirits of the auditorium.
Want to hear something scary? Here at Mac and Cheese Noodles, we're coming at you with the scariest stories that will knock your socks off. But beware, you should listen to this during the day, as I would assume you're not confident enough to listen at night. This is Terrifying Teagan, and coming up next is Spirits of the Auditorium. Good night, and don't let the demons come for you at night.
Hi, I'm Kate Crowley, and this is my experience with the Spirits of the Auditorium. So, it was a rather chilly Wednesday morning following the World Language Tour last year. And Japanese Club was going to perform their act for the staff meeting that morning. A few of my friends and I were working tech for the performance, so we had to get there early. And me, being my usual self, was like 10 minutes early and the first one there. So I made my way up into the auditorium. As I'm waiting for everyone else to get there, I start hearing soft tapping on the tops of the seats, as if someone was just walking through the aisles. Then one of the doors by the booth started rattling, as if someone was trying to open it, but it was locked. And I didn't think too much of it, because I just, thought it was a kid trying to escape the weather. But the tapping did put me on edge. The rattling moved around the auditorium from door to door, both doors by the booth, the side entrance, and then the door to the lift by the stage creaked open and with great might swung shut. I felt a chill on, my skin crawled. The back door creaked open. A sense of calmness flowed without my body, because it was just my other techie friend, and the performers followed suit.
Oh, hi, Kate.
I'll never really know if it was actually a ghost or a prank, or if I was just tired, but That day, I will never forget.
Well, looks like our time is up. Scary, am I right? It's been a terrifying time here at Mac and Cheese Noodles. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to listen to so many other spooky tales like this one. You better hurry. Time is ticking. I'm your host, Terrifying Teagan, and will scare you later.
Thanks for tuning in to the Brahma Drama Podcast. We hope you enjoyed one of our first episodes in our series, Who's There?, delivering all things spooky, strange, and unusual. Shout out to the JV students that created our first story, Snowman Kidnapper, Julian and Alex, and to those who created our second story, Spirits of the Auditorium, Kate and Sabrina. This episode was produced by 6th period technicians Xander, Gabriella, and Thomas. Thank you to our MacArthur High School administration and to NEISD for their listener support. And finally, a big shout out to all of our listeners. We can't do this without you. Did you like what you heard? Help us out. Tell other people about what we're doing by following us on Instagram at Mac Theater for more podcast episode releases. That's at MACTHEATRE. And as always, you say Brahma, we say Brahma. Go Brahma Drama. Thanks again for tuning into at Mac Theater Podcast, Brahma Drama. This has been your favorite technician host, Gabriella. And remember, even during the 2020 pandemic, we're in this together. We are Mac. Brahma Drama out.